Till that a 2019 Union College study found that joining a fraternity in college lowered a student's GPA by 0.25 points, but also increased their future income by 36%. Till during pregnancy, if the mother suffers organ damage, the baby in the womb sends stem cells to repair the damaged organ. Till of a Brazilian football referee that stabbed a player to death, which resulted in the crowd storming the pitch, stoning him to death, beheading him, and quartering him before finally sticking his head on a stake on the pitch in 2013. Till the board game, Settlers of Catan, was created by a dental technician, Klaus Teuber. It was so popular he retired to become a game designer. He went on to win Germany's Game of the Year 4 times. Till that is not possible to exceed the weight limit, 70 pounds, of a U.S. Postal Service small flat-rate box, even if you filled it with the densest substance on Earth. Till Microsoft tried a 4-day workweek in Japan as part of a work-life choice challenge by shutting down offices every Friday. Productivity, measured by sales per employee, increased by almost 40% compared to the same period the previous year. Till in 2019 a Brazilian drug trafficker serving a 73-year sentence tried to escape from prison by disguising himself as his teenage daughter who was visiting. His plan was to leave her behind in his place, but his nervousness as he approached the exit tipped off the guards. He hung himself 3 days later. Till that in year 2000, $41 million was spent to promote the new Sacagawea golden dollar. Television ads consisted of the head of George Washington superimposed upon a body, voiced by actor Michael Keaton, discussing the merits of the new dollar coin. The coin ended up being a failure. Till the Spanish Inquisition would write to you, giving 30 days notice before arriving, and these were read out during Sunday Mass. Although these edicts were eventually phased out, you originally always expected the Spanish Inquisition. Till after eating the miracle fruit, very sour foods will taste sweet for 15 to 30 minutes. Miracle fruit, or Syncephalum dulcificum, releases a sweetening potency that alters the taste buds. For about 15 to 30 minutes, everything sour is sweet. Lemons lose their zing and taste like candy. Till Sully, the pilot who landed the plane in the Hudson, notified a library about losing the book he borrowed from them about professional ethics after it sank with the plane. Till as a child, Walt Disney's mom convinced his dad, Elias, to buy him a set of colored pencils and some drawing paper. Elias did not approve, believing the boy should spend time engaged in hard, manual labor. Even after Walt became famous, Elias never considered animation a real job. Till a scientist hired his family to refine radium in their basement for 20 years, with the waste buried in the backyard. The property was declared a Superfund site and cost $70 to clean up. His body was exhumed for testing and had the largest amount of radioactive material ever detected in a human. Till George Lucas sold Lucasfilm, Star Wars, for $4 billion to Disney in 2012, but has since earned over $10 billion from the sale. Till a 30-year-old woman from New Zealand died in 2013 due to cardiac arrhythmia that was linked to her habit of drinking up to 2.6 gallons of Coca-Cola daily. Till that Superman's name in Hebrew is translated as Kal, meaning voice, and El, meaning of God. So his name literally means the voice of God. Though Superman is mostly interpreted as a Christ allegory today, the entire thing is actually based on Moses. Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster were Jewish. Till about the Old Man of the Lake, a 30-foot-tall, 450-year-old tree stump, most likely a hemlock, that has been bobbing vertically in Oregon's Crater Lake since at least 1896. Moving freely, it can be virtually anywhere on the lake, so boat captains commonly communicate its position for safety. Till that, in 2022, a man died in a single-vehicle car accident when the knife he was using to mix protein powder while driving was propelled into his neck by the force of his deployed airbag. Till that since 2000, only 2 bestsellers have scored higher than 9th-grade readability. Till that Herman Lamb is considered the father of modern bank robbery. He pioneered the concepts of casing a bank and developing escape routes before the robbery. Using a meticulous planning system called the Lamb technique, he conducted dozens of successful bank robberies. Till, Fiddler on the Roof, is a smash hit in Japan, with hundreds of revivals since 1967. A Japanese producer wondered whether American audiences understood the play, because it's so Japanese. Till that, Tunnel of Love, rides were popular at amusement parks in the early 20th century because they were one of the only socially acceptable opportunities for couples to be alone together on a date and share physical contact. In 1950, there were over 700 in the USA. Now there are less than 10. Till that a woman named Jo Cameron has a rare genetic mutation that makes her unable to feel pain or anxiety. Despite numerous injuries throughout her life, Jo has never needed painkillers. Till that the late president of Nintendo Hiroshi Yamauchi owned the Seattle Mariners baseball team. He had never been to a baseball game before buying the team, and despite owning the Mariners for over 20 years, never attended a single one of their games. Till that the Nazis trained and sent 2 teams of saboteurs to America. They were terrible, got caught on day 1 and only 2 escaped execution. One of the leaders rang the FBI and demanded to meet Hoover so he could surrender. Till that the ancient Greek philosopher Anaxagoras was arrested, exiled, and was almost put to death for saying that the sun and moon were objects, and not gods. Till North Korea is obsessed with choco pies from S. Korea. There's a black market for them, and factories once used them to pay worker bonuses. In 2014, S. Korean activists sent 10K pies to NK with helium balloons. After an injured NK defector crossed the DMZ in 2017, he was given a lifetime supply. Till of Khalid bin Mohsen Shari, a Saudi who was the heaviest man alive at 1,340 lb. When Saudi King Abdullah heard of this, Khalid was ordered to a medical center in Riyadh. In about 4 years, Khalid would weigh 150 lb. Till that in 2017, a 28-year-old Wichita resident was shot and killed in a hoax swatting due to an online argument surrounding a 150-cent wager in Call of Duty. The victim was not part of the argument and was simply living at the address one of the parties falsely claimed as theirs. Till the average desk-bound employee spends 28% of their professional lives reading and responding to emails. Till if you call 911 by mistake, you should not hang up. Rather, you should let the dispatcher know what happened so they know there isn't an emergency. Till after organizers told Roberta Gibbs women weren't capable of marathons, she dressed in men's clothes, hid near the starting line and joined the middle of the pack at the 66 Boston Marathon. When runners figured out her disguise, they began cheering. She was the first woman to finish the race. Till that the Cadbury Cream Egg began in 1963 as Fry's Cream Egg, becoming the Cadbury Cream Egg in 1971. Creme eggs are produced by Cadbury in the UK, Hershey in the US, and by Cadbury Adams in Canada. In 2016, UK sales of the Cadbury egg dropped sharply after the recipe was changed to cut costs. Till most English-speaking countries around the world pronounce Z as Z, but the United States is the only one that does not. Unlike other English-speak countries, the US pronounces it Z. Till after the OJ verdict, 75% white Americans and 30% black Americans polled thought he was guilty, but by 2016 those numbers had changed to 83% and 57%, respectively. Till that when the Ottomans invaded Wallachia, they found 23,844 impaled Turks that Vlad the Impaler had left for them. Till about Rebecca Sherrick, a 27-year-old from Australia who has highly superior autobiographical memory, HSAM, a rare syndrome that allows her to recall every single detail of her life on any given date. Till Walter Orthman, a 100-year-old, set the Guinness World Record for working at the same company for 84 years and 9 days. Till that same X behavior has been recorded in more than 1,000 species in animal kingdom ranging from beetles to penguins. This was earlier often seen as an example of Darwin's paradox as these behaviors are non-reproductive and don't contribute to the advancement of species in the traditional sense. Till that almost 3% of films released in the 1960s included depictions of people sinking in quicksand, clay or mud. Till why paper cuts are so painful is see at a microscopic level, paper is actually quite rough. A knife makes a straight cut, but paper acts like a saw blade and does more damage to cells and nerve endings. Paper also leaves behind tiny fibers and chemical residues, irritating the wound even more. Till 80% of the moon rock mass picked up by Apollo astronauts in the NASA collection remains stored in a pristine condition for future scientific study. Till the most expensive car in the world is no longer the 250 GTO but a 1955 Mercedes-Benz SLR coupe that sold for $142 million in 2022. Till until 2020 there were only 2 factories producing the lacquer, acetate, discs used as masters to produce vinyl records. And then one of them burned down, leaving only a factory in Japan producing all masters in the world. Till the oldest inn in the world has been in business 1,300 years and in the same family for 52 generations. Till the Stone of Destiny, an ancient stone on which Scottish monarchs had been crowned, was taken from Scotland by King Edward I of England in 1296, and in 1954 Scottish students from the University of Glasgow stole the stone from Westminster Abbey in London and took it back to Scotland. Till the European polecat occasionally cripples its prey by piercing its brains with its teeth and stores it, still living, in its burrow for future consumption. Till that tongues can gain and lose weight, and losing tongue weight can help with sleep apnea. Till that the widely accepted learning styles theory, everyone has a different learning style, visual, auditory, reading and writing, kinesthetic, has almost no experimental data behind it. The few researches done on the subject prove the opposite. Till Philip Ahn was a Korean-American actor who played villainous Japanese characters, to the hilt, during the Second World War. Ahn had fun with the parts, when asked to speak Japanese would actually speak Korean and make remarks described as highly uncomplimentary to the Japanese. Till that in the United States, crayfish are often referred to as crawfish, crawdads, fiddlers, crawdaddies, or mudbugs. As of 2018, 93% of crawfish farms in the U.S. were located in Louisiana. In 1987, Louisiana produced 90% of the crayfish harvested in the world, 70% of which were consumed locally.